Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. So, what are we up to today? Well, we're going to talk about this odd display behind me. So, bear with me until I'm going to switch to handheld in a second to do better justice of this display. But anyway, so what is this display? This is by Flip Sheeting Plate Display. So, what is a flip sheeting plate? Well, you have to go back to the manufacturing process to kind of understand what we're talking about here. So, sheeting nowadays comes in a big roll, and they get aluminum, also in a big roll, and they put them together, and that's how they make the plates. And that's where you see the current farm scene that's all sheeting over top the aluminum. Well, back in the day, they'd either get painted rolls or they paint the rolls for, as you can see, a portion, so truck plates. And what would happen sometimes is they'd make too much. So instead of wasting that sheeting, they flipped over and they put new sheeting on the back. So, and I will take you around to show the other side of the plates. But you can see by the top row, those are the issued plates, and the bottom ones are the flipped sheets. So they flipped them over, as you can see the color, and then the other side is where they put the sheeting on and made the plates. So like as you can see, the nice bright yellow plates, they're 1991 portion base. And most of them are apportioned plates. There's some that are a little trickier, like this light blue was maybe a prototype that they were trying to produce, and maybe the motorcycle plates were also a bad batch of sheeting or something they were playing with, because they're much more reflective than anything else we've seen. And you'll notice some of them are a little bit weird, with one plate being a flip, the other one not. Usually in that case, what happens is they had the plates made and they got a remake. And either the remake was a flip or the original was a flip. And I'll talk about that more when we're examining the plates a little bit closer. Okay, so we're in handheld mode. Hopefully I can show you this a bit better now. So we're gonna go over here. So this orange, nice orange 1985 plate. You can see matches. Now what would happen is they'd flip the roll over and they applied sheeting, so they wouldn't waste that material. And they made plates. So as you can see here, most of these they made passenger plates out of. Some of them were not. Some of them we have some apportion prototypes, ZA trailers, apportion trailers, standard apportions. And then down there we have a hobbyist, which is the rarest hobbyist. And then the motorcycle ones, it looks like they used the back of the collectors and some dealers to do this. So you can see the motorcycles are a lot brighter. I'm not sure if they were playing with the material to try to get a brighter motorcycle plate or not. And then black is one of the rarest flip sheets, along with the gray. But there's a dark blue that we call it. We have down below is oxidized, where they were playing with the sheeting, but on the other side of that sheeting is also blue. So if you can tell right here, you can see the blue peeking out. So that's a blue flip sheeting plate that they put sheeting over because they tried treating the back maybe for less rust. But here is the gray, very rare to find out of all of the colors. And then you got nice bright yellow, a beautiful, beautiful pink, which there's a couple stories behind that, which I'll get into at the end of the video. There's this other kind of dull yellow, another a lighter blue, and then it's hard to tell, but this blue is also lighter. Then we have the white, and then some of the white, it looks like they oxidized and put sheeting over it to see how that would hold up, which this one probably didn't, because you can see that oxidized material coming through. And then we have the deep blue and the orange. That's all the colors we've been able to find so far. Doesn't mean that they're now out there, but it's at this point, it's probably pretty rare to find another color. So if you are looking at plates, it's actually worth taking the time and checking the back. As you can see, here's a better example of that oxidation that they tried. It's a bit lighter. And they were experimenting on plates, personalized, standard. And you can see these plates are kind of blocked. So when you're out and about looking at plates, you can find them. But yeah, you have some prototypes from the 90s, some ZAs. Apportioned is the main culprit. Some collectors. So they're all out there. You just got to watch out for collectors. Anything older than that, especially with a keyhole slot, is a dipped plate. So the whole plate was dipped in blue paint. So it's going to be one color. And that one, it's two different colors. And that's a newer plate where they weren't dipping them anymore. Has anyone else come across these? Does anyone else collect them? Let me know in the comments. And then we're just gonna return, and I will pop you back up on the stand and we'll talk about the pink plates in just a moment. What about these pink plates? Well, you can see here, there's one finished sample, but this was never issued. So there's two stories behind it. The first story from a more recent supervisor of the plate room said this was made up as a joke for to send to the truck department, who was notoriously late sending in their colors for the next plate. As you can tell by the portions, every year was a different color. So, and then it was presented as their new colors, and everyone laughed. The reason I don't think that's truly the case is the material costs associated pulling a prank like that. And the samples I've seen are these struck plates, which are by the December up here and the 1990 debossed is a light truck for hire plate. So they're not an apportioned plate. The other reason is we have found another 1990 baby blue light truck for hire prototype. That one weirdly has a weight class and numbers, number 53. I've also seen number 52, but it does not match the light truck for hire series. In 1990, the light truck for hire was a red font and a bright yellow background. But talking to a plate room supervisor many, many years ago, he was trying to bring more diversity, more colorful and colorful plates out. And he proposed running 2 plates for the light truck for hire, and that was the baby blue and the pink. He surveyed a lot of truckers, a lot of guys, said, yeah, that's cool, we do it. But unfortunately, it sounded like it got vetoed by upper management. So who knows which is the true story? We might never know, but it's something to think about. Anyone else have any cool stories they would like to share? Please let me know. And one other tidbit before I ended this video. Many years ago, I created my website and put the information about my book. And the one examples I had that I really enjoyed doing is the flip sheet plating plates. So I got a very nice email from this lady saying, hey, well, how did these plates come to be? How were they made? And I tried to explain the best I could over an email. And she's like, oh, well, that's really interesting because we don't do that this way. I'm like, well, what do you mean? And she's like, well, I am in the Water Pond prison as a staff member who supervises the inmates and supervises the manufacturing of the plates. And I thought that was amazing, especially since the last tour of the Dairyland had tours, a couple tours, back right before I turned 18. And since I wasn't 18, I wasn't allowed in the prison. So I didn't get to do any tours. And after that, it sounded like the administrator changed the warden and decided not to have any visitors very strictly. So I got talking to her. I told her about this, and she's like, well, let me see what we can do. And very graciously, she set up a tour. That was back in 2018, I believe, and we got to see how the plates were made. And then we got to go upstairs to see how the stickers were made. It was a fantastic experience, and I hope after everything calms down at the prison again, and that we could go back one day. And if she does watch this, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. That was a experience of a lifetime. Anyway, I'll see you in the next video.